Okay, welcome to our event tonight called Stories of Hope. We are so excited that you're here with us tonight. Thank you for taking some time out of your night. I know time is precious, and so we really just appreciate you being here. My name is Andrea, and I'll be kind of hosting this tonight, sharing my story with you along with two of my good friends. All very different, our stories. So we just really hope that tonight we provide you with some information that you can relate to, that you might be able to resonate with. And I really just want to encourage you to think about, the person that invited you here tonight. They care about you. They want better for you, and that's why they invited you here to listen in, to learn more. And I just really hope that you can gain something from what one of us shares with you tonight. Um, I'll get into my story. So basically, I'm going to take you back to a place in time because I think for those of us who have been using Plexus for a while, sometimes it's hard to go back to the beginning, like when we first started. And this is called Stories of Hope for a reason. Many of us go into this with a hope for change, for bettering ourselves, for bettering our life. And I know when I started, I was really in a place of struggle. So if any of you can relate to this, raise your hand or give a thumbs up in the chat. But who tends to struggle silently? Like, you don't really tell people about your struggles that much. Some people like to air their dirty laundry on Facebook. Just kidding. But for the most part, like when we really have something going on, we just put a smile on our face and just do what we need to do to get through our day. And so I'm going to take you back to a place in time just so you can kind of get a better sense of where I was personally. This was about 6 years ago, and I was sitting in my car. I can remember this moment clear as day. Had just gotten to work. It was about this time of year, so it was a really dreary, cold, cloudy day in the morning, and I was sitting in my car under a tree. I can see like the branches moving, and let's just pretend you were in my passenger seat. So if you were sitting next to me, you would have heard me on the phone with my mom. I try not to get emotional because I was thinking about this yesterday, like preparing for this, and I haven't thought about these moments a lot now that I'm in a much healthier place. So it's kind of hard to go back there, but you would have heard me talking to her and her saying, just listen to your heart, trust your instinct. You need to do what you need to do. And then I hung up with her and I had tears just streaming down my face because I was going into work and I worked as a PT. I loved my job. But I had two children at home who were 2 and 4, and I felt like life was just passing by so fast and I was missing moments with them. But more importantly, I didn't feel good. I was really struggling with my mental health, with anxiety and depression, with low energy, and just not feeling like I could be like a healthy, happy, present mom when I was home with them. Part of that was just stress of working a lot, but part of it was that I knew something was off in my body. I just didn't feel right and good. So I remember sitting in the car that day, just kind of praying for change underneath that tree. And I'll never forget that moment. But of course, like we do, I wiped the tears from my eyes and I walked into work and I did my job and I did what I had to do. After an immediate trip to the bathroom, because that was also part of my story and struggle, was that I had digestive issues, and like that was abnormal for me. Like I didn't have normal bowel habits. So for those of you who know anything about gut health, that's a big part of it. And so fast forward about 4 months, that was me having the signal to shift my life a little bit to take care of myself. So I actually got done my full-time job and I decided to stay home with my kids. And kind of in the meantime, Plexus was not on the radar, but my good friend Jamie, who's here tonight, she had shared with me about how it was helping her. She knew I had some digestive issues. And I was just kind of like, no, I'm all set. Like I'm going through a big change. My struggle felt so big and overwhelming. I couldn't think about starting anything new. However, my husband had mentioned to me, maybe you need to go back on medication. I had taken medication in the past for anxiety and depression. He noticed it. He saw my struggle behind the smile everybody else saw. But I really didn't want to. I wanted something natural. So I started researching after Jamie talked to me about it, how gut health is linked to mental health and mood. And I realized that it could maybe help me. So in June, it was shortly after my birthday. I always say it was my birthday gift to myself because I felt really guilty spending the money after just getting done my job, going from 2 incomes to 1. I decided to order, and I was really remember that day. I was like so kind of skeptical and like, can this really work? I don't know, but I was really full of hope as well. I was like, I'm so ready to start something new and try something different. And I had tried other things before, but this was different than anything else I had tried. Because it really addressed the root issues of what I was struggling with. So I started a few weeks later. I did notice that I felt more energy. My husband was like, why are you talking so much, in the evening? Like I wasn't falling asleep on the couch. I didn't feel like I needed to take a nap in the afternoon, just subtle changes like that in my energy. I did experience some detox, which is normal, but with my health background and having researched gut health, and like what I was consuming, I realized that that's good, like to celebrate that. The difference with other things I had tried is I didn't really notice anything. With this, I was like, oh, I feel changes. I feel like it's pushing bad stuff out of my body. So I was having that detox stuff, but I was encouraged. I knew changes were happening. So that was kind of the beginning. Another thing that perked my interest was Jamie shared with me that, she was sharing with a few friends, like she had shared with me, and she was actually making money. And so I was like, oh, one of those, but I had just gotten done my job and she told me she made $1,000 in a month. So I was like, you know what? This is helping me already. I feel good. If I can help a few other people, start to feel better as well and pay for groceries or pay for my daughter's dance classes, that's amazing. And being home with 2 littles, I was like, I could do something else to talk with adults again. So I decided to share, and I did start making some money with this. No intentions of building a business with it, but fast forward again 5 years, and this has become just such a blessing. And I know sometimes that sounds cliche, but truly it has. It's replaced and surpassed my PT income, which I just I couldn't imagine back then ever thinking that could happen. But when you feel passionate about something and you truly have life change and you see life change in other people, you feel like you need to share it with more. And that's what it's been for me. It's like, I want more people to have hope for their health and to feel like the best versions of themselves so they can show up for the people in their life like I wanted to so desperately. And like I'm able to now. Like I went 10 years taking medication for, anxiety that would turn into depressive episodes. And the past 5 years, I haven't had to have any. And going through the pandemic, I was worried, but I was like, this is true change because of the gut brain connection, like how much healthier my gut is now. And I'm actually, building those good neurotransmitters in my gut that are, in serotonin in my brain. So the business has been amazing as well. I was able to take my husband to Hawaii for our 10-year anniversary and, have a company vehicle paid for. And just the community and the people that I've met and helped along the way is just amazing. And the best part is that back then, that day in my car, I couldn't have imagined having a third child because I was so overwhelmed by life. But since then, we've been able to have a third son, and my husband got his son because we have 2 girls prior to that. So he is our plexus baby, and pregnancy and postpartum were amazing on the products too. And he's just so healthy. He's 3 now. And so it's just all around been an amazing experience and journey. But it all started back there in my car, wanting change, just praying for my life to be better, like to feel better. That's all I wanted. And I know that when we pray for those things, when we seek them out, they come into our life somehow. So again, if you're on this call, I think it's for a reason. And the person that invited you, just know that you are worth, really going for it and making that change. All right. Thank you guys for listening to my story. And now I'm going to pass it over to my beautiful friend, Carrie.
Oh, thank you, Andrea. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Carrie Chanowski, and I'm a Senior Ruby ambassador with Plexus. I'm a 46-year-old mom from Severna Park, Maryland. I'm originally from Maine, but I've been in Maryland now for 3 years, so I guess I have to say I'm from here. Just joking. And I worked for over 20 years as a speech language pathologist in Maine when I was there. And I did that until I moved here. And then I shifted my focus because I was so in love with helping people improve their gut health and wellness that I now do that as my job here. So when we moved, I said, I'm not, going to be doing speech full time. So that was something that I actually didn't look at Plexus for at all. Like I didn't join Plexus for the business at all. I joined because of the products, because as Andrea I was in a valley in my health, a very different valley, but I was in a valley, a deep, deep valley. And the tools I had, they just weren't working. And I had a lot of tools, I had always been someone who was fascinated by the body and by health, and really went out of my way to try to learn how to optimize my health. So I ate a balanced diet, and I learned a lot about nutrition and how that could feed my body in the ways it needed to be fed. I worked out more than the average person, pretty much. I loved working out. And it was kind of like my escape from life when I was stressed. It was just how I dealt, and it was, a healthy way. But when I joined 5 years ago, I was struggling most days with chronic back issues that were caused by an accident, and they were terrible. And because of the accident, because of the chronic pain, I was on medications and I had to stop working out, and all of that just wrecked my body. I had terrible digestion. I had a long history of IBS type issues, but this was it was worse because of the medications and because of the lack of mobility, just all the things that were going on. I had so much inflammation in my body that my digestion was a mess. My hormones were a mess. I was very high anxiety. I had very low energy. I was just like, I felt like I didn't know who I was anymore. Like I felt like I lost my identity as a mom, as a wife, as a friend. Like I was basically watching my life go by. I was sitting on the sidelines, and I just felt so out of control. And I couldn't eat half the foods I wanted to eat because everything made me sick. So it was just not fun. So I struggled like this for a couple of years. And during that time, Andrea very kindly and gently and lovingly mentioned Plexus to me over different periods of time. And I was skeptical. And, because I had a lot of knowledge, I was like, no, I know what to do. It's not working, but I know what to do. And so I didn't think it would work, but I finally, when I finally decided to give it a try, and I committed to being consistent, knowing that it takes 90 days to regenerate cells, knowing that it takes time to balance out the body, I was ready and it was time, and I decided to go full on and commit to it. Pretty quickly, I noticed my digestion started to calm down. Things started to improve quite a bit in that area fairly quickly. I had more clarity, more energy. I slept better. My cycles became regular and lighter. My mood improved. And I just felt less overwhelmed, like everything over time. This was like, and this didn't happen overnight. I'm just going to reiterate that, this was over, months. 2, 3, 4, it got better every month. And, I was finally able to strengthen my core again and actually, heal from some of the injuries that had happened to my back, which I wasn't able to because my state was in such a state of high inflammation. So, I want you guys to think about tonight, where you are now, what you're struggling with, you know, and where you want to go. Where do you, what do you want to feel like? I didn't think it was possible to feel how I feel now. I was told I was never going to feel this way again, and at that point, I was feeling like I was 60 years old and I was 41, 42. And so, what it really comes down to and is that there are three main things that Plexus is really good at creating simple combos for. And those three areas are the main areas of disease and things that are causing our bodies to be not unwell. And those three areas are gut health, blood sugar, blood sugar or insulin regulation, and inflammation, decreasing inflammation. And so when you get to the root of most problems, it's either a gut issue, an inflammation issue, or a hormone blood sugar issue. And if you can address those in combination, which Plexus does really well, you can really get to the root of what you're struggling with and start to find hope and better health. So, and this applies to so many things. The etiology of, mood issues, hormonal issues, anxiety, stagnant weight, digestion issues, skin issues, whatever it is, Plexus really blends together. It has products that blend together to address all of these issues. So I'm going to talk briefly about Triplex, mostly not only because it's amazing, but because everybody needs it. Like everybody needs it, as far as I'm concerned. So the three products within the Triplex are our pink drink, our slim. Most of you have probably heard of the pink drink. We have two versions of that. So it's a drink mix that it's just in a little powder packet and you mix it with water. We have two versions. So this is the Slim Hunger Control. And this really helps with appetite and cravings, helping kind of curb your appetite. So that you eat less. It also helps with balancing blood sugars. And for people who have pretty significant blood sugar issues, which honestly, I didn't know I had. And now that, looking back, I was hangry, I felt lightheaded all the time. There were just so many signs that now I know were signs of blood sugar issues. The Slim Hunger Control really helps with that. The other one is Slim Microbiome Activating. So this has prebiotic fibers in it. So it has the good gut microbes that feed your gut. Basically, how the antioxidants has no artificial sweeteners, flavors, colors, none of that. And these minerals and antioxidants basically, like I said, balance your blood sugars, they decrease inflammation, and they help you to stop having the crashes in the middle of the day in your energy. And those are the times when you go for the carbs and you go for the sugar and you go for the things that are going to throw your blood sugar into another crazy cycle. So it really helps to even things out, to help you make better food choices and give you more energy. The other two pieces of the Triplex are ProBio 5, which is our probiotic that has digestive enzymes, and the BioCleanse, which helps to detoxify the system. And, some people are like, how is that different than any other digestive system? And really the difference is you're not just putting in good gut microbes, you're eliminating the bad bacteria in there that is basically stopping the good bacteria from growing and thriving in your gut and doing its job. And so when you get rid of that bad or overgrowth of bad organisms, by gently removing it, the BioCleanse gently removes it and, helps to regulate your bowels to get you going. And just so you know, like Andrea said, like going regularly is really important. And, a lot of people have a skewed view of what's regular. So going regularly is not 1 to 2 times a week or 3 times more than, 3 to, 5 times a day. It's really 1 to 3 times a day is really the goal. And when that's happening, you're cleaning out the gut and you're replenishing it, and you're able to replenish it with good gut bacteria. So some people might say, you know, I'm regular, I don't need that, right? I poop twice a day like a champ, and it's great. But really, it doesn't mean that just because you go regularly, it doesn't mean that your gut is healthy. You know, our immune systems are developed in our gut, our mood boosting serotonin, and like Andrea mentioned, the serotonin, the melatonin for good sleep, our skin clarity. You know, if you have clear skin, your gut is likely better than someone whose skin isn't very clear. And you know, vitamin deficiencies are all linked to our gut. So when your gut is healthy, it's able to absorb nutrients, and it's able to, your body's able to function the way it's supposed to. The triplex comes in its own little combo, but it also comes in a larger combo, which I love. I love the larger combos because it helps you to not only focus on that one, you know, your gut health, your inflammation, and your blood sugar balancing, but you can also focus on other things like autoimmune issues, losing extra weight, athletic performance, and maybe, you know, if you have kids, there's some great family packs so that you can give your kids some great products to help support their gut and their health and wellness. So that's it for me. I'm going to pass it on to Katie now to talk about her, you know, thoughts on the community of Plexus and how it's really helped her.
Thank you, Carrie. Thanks, Andrea. It's funny when you start to get emotional. I was thinking last night, you know, in the shower that, you know, what should I talk about? And, you know, how do I share my experience? And when I was even just thinking about it, I started to get emotional. Just thinking about it, because I mean, a year ago, if somebody had told me that I had to jump on a Zoom at 8:30, I would have thought, like, that's ridiculous. Like, I will be in bed by 7. I can barely make it until 7. You know, so what happened for me, about, it's been just slightly over a year now, is I was really tired all the time. And I'm a high energy person. I'm very productive. I like to get things done. And I was finding myself needing midday naps. My afternoon coffee was getting earlier and earlier. And not even that. I mean, great for coffee, but it wasn't working. It wasn't helping me anymore. And I was stressed, and it was really affecting my productivity. And it was affecting my family life, because at the same time, you know, I had just adopted a young girl who we had been providing foster care for, and it was supposed to be such a beautiful time, and COVID hit, and she was diagnosed with autism, and we were in crisis mode in our home for a couple of months, just surviving, eating, sleeping, basics. And I wasn't doing well, and I needed my energy back. And, you know, as most of you know, I'm a nurse. I've been in the medical care field for my adult life. And, you know, I'm trained to treat symptoms and fix things after they're broken. And so this whole idea about healing from the gut out, I had to learn all of this. I didn't know anything about it. And frankly, I didn't have a lot of faith in it. You know, so I had gotten desperate, and Andrea had been sharing a little bit about this drink that she takes. And I just thought, I'll try it. What's it going to hurt? I'll try it. I'm spending $2.50 a day, if not on a latte or even a brewed coffee at home. I was buying those little Suja energy shots. They're like all natural, right? It wasn't like a bad thing, but I mean, they were $2.50 a day, and it was COVID. So like sometimes the grocery store didn't have them. and you get reliant upon caffeine, and you expect that it's going to be available. So anyway, I said, I'm going to give it a shot. I jumped right into ordering the products that were geared towards energy and fatigue, because that's what I was having trouble with. I took them for a month. I too felt guilty about spending the money. I took them for a month, and one day I'll never forget, one day I was reading the back of the Meta Burn, and I was reading the back of it, and it said, may increase mood. And I thought, oh my goodness. And because my mood had increased, I was thinking clearly. I didn't lose my mind if I was on a Zoom meeting and my phone rang. Like normally that would send me over, like I could not multitask because my stress level was so high with work and childcare and wife and pandemic. And I was thinking clearly, and my energy that improved within a couple weeks. And as the months went on, the other stuff, the inflammation, this isn't a magic. These products aren't magic, but they work for you. And what happened was I became more productive. I had more energy. I was thinking clearly. And as those things started to unravel, I didn't need to be snacking all day. I didn't require a sweet after dinner. I no longer needed the caffeine. I wasn't even taking the active every day because I was getting better from the inside out. And it took me by surprise. I did not ever believe in supplements, period. But enough about that. What I wanted to mention was I had no intention of joining this as a business. I was very quiet on social media until I became an advocate for my daughter. But I got really, really passionate about what these products did for me. And within 2 months, I signed my daughter up for the kids' vitamins and started researching gut health for kids with autism, kids health in general. 4 months in, I made my husband wait because I didn't want to spend the money until I knew he was really committed. I didn't want him just taking it. My husband drinks the pink drink every single day. He loves it. He's doing great. And so I started sharing, and what I got out of this community was a supportive group of other people, a diverse group, lots of medical professionals, but like there's a teacher, there's stay-at-home moms, there's a whole range of people that come from different career backgrounds. And so I'm not just around my own kind. I'm learning from so many different people all the time. And there are people that are supporting me. When I have a question about my health, people get right back to me. I'm not waiting for 3 days for a primary care provider to call me back and tell me that maybe I need to drink more water and help my energy level. Like I have people that are in this with me and we're supporting each other. I wasn't expecting any of that. And, so it's been a year and I've really kind of taken this on as a way that as a nurse, I can help people. I love helping people. And this meets all of my values and ideals around the type of help I want to be able to provide for people. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie, so much for sharing your story. Made me get emotional too again. And that's the beauty of this, really, truly. Everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different need and struggle. And we just want people to feel better. So if something, sparked an idea in your mind tonight about how this could help you, I really encourage you, whoever invited you, to, get in touch with them and just talk to them about options for what could help you. And maybe our stories tonight about sharing and the opportunity and how that's blessed us as well, whether it's the community or just being a part of like-minded people who really want to focus on wellness, on, not band-aids, like getting to the root issues of things, not just spinning your wheels about like trying something and then it causes a side effect and, then you have to take something else for that. Like this is a tool that can really help the whole body. So maybe that's something that you want to be a part of, or maybe you want to pursue this for an income or extra money that could help support you or your family. So those are all potential options here. And the amazing thing is that we have people that you can talk to, like real life people that can help give you information about that. So we are so thankful that you took the time tonight and that we were able to share our stories with you. And we just hope you have a great evening, and for sure, get in touch with whoever invited you to really focus on hope for your future as well. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.